Welcome to a life-changing conversation. Today we'll reveal the strategies that high-performing individuals use to navigate challenges, harness their strengths, and create the results they deserve. This is your moment to align your vision with action and build the success you've been waiting for. Let's begin. There comes a moment when silence no longer serves you. A moment when you realize that staying quiet only feeds his sense of control. When you finally decide to speak, to express your thoughts, your feelings, and your boundaries, everything changes. He notices, he watches closely, and then he tests you. Not because he doubts you, but because he wants to see if you truly mean what you say. For too long you may have held back, thinking silence was a form of strength. You let things slide, overlooked the little disappointments, and convinced yourself that patience was the key. But inside you knew the truth. You were not at peace. You were suppressing your voice. And now as you break that silence, as you step into your power, he feels the shift. He senses that you are no longer the woman who waits endlessly for change. You are the woman who demands it. This change unsettles him. He is used to the version of you that tolerated the unsaid, the version that let his excuses slide, that accepted half-hearted efforts, that stayed in the background while he dictated the pace. But now you stand tall, unshaken, unapologetic. And that's when he begins to test you. His tests will not always be obvious. Sometimes they come disguised as indifference. He may act as if your words don't affect him, as if your new energy is nothing more than a temporary mood. Other times he may try to provoke a reaction, pushing buttons that once made you retreat. He wants to see if you return to silence, if you fall back into the role that made things easier for him. Do not mistake these tests as a reason to doubt yourself. They are proof that you are stepping into your true self. When a woman starts valuing her voice, she disrupts the dynamic. She forces a new reality, one where she is no longer waiting, no longer accepting less than she deserves. Some will adjust. Some will recognize the woman in front of them and rise to meet her. But others will resist. They will try to remind you of who you used to be, of the days when you second-guessed yourself, when you were afraid to ask for more. They will remind you of how things used to be, hoping you will miss the comfort of silence. Do not fall for it. The comfort of silence was an illusion. It was never peace. It was avoidance. Now you stand in truth. And truth does not bow to comfort. If he truly values you, he will respect this new version of you. If he does not, then his resistance is not your burden to carry. He may pretend to be unaffected. He may distance himself, hoping you will chase after him the way you once did. But you are not here to convince anyone of your worth. You are not here to beg for understanding. You are here to claim your space, to be heard, and to be valued. This journey is not about him, it is about you. It is about recognizing that your voice is not something to be silenced to keep someone comfortable. It is about understanding that love should never require you to shrink. The right person will not fear your strength. The right person will not test you to see if you will break. The right person will meet you at your level, without games, without resistance, without fear. The moment you decide to speak up, to stop holding back and start expressing what's truly in your heart, the shift is undeniable. It's not just a change in what you say, it's a complete transformation in who you are. The silence that once kept things calm and hidden no longer serves you. You've decided that your voice, your thoughts, and your needs matter more than the comfort of avoiding conflict. It then matters because it puts your health at risk and your needs in jeopardy. And when you make this decision, you open the door to a new reality. A reality where your words carry weight and demand attention. For so long, you might have believed that staying silent was a sign of strength, that keeping quiet in the face of uncertainty or hurt was somehow virtuous. You thought silence would protect you, allow you to keep the peace, avoid confrontation. But now you know better. You know that true strength lies in your ability to stand firm, to express your thoughts clearly and unapologetically. And when you do this, when you embrace the power of your voice, the dynamics between you and him begin to shift dramatically. When you make this change, he will notice. He may not immediately show it, but he will feel it deep within. Something is different. The woman who once stayed quiet, the woman who held herself back, is now fully present, fully awake. And because of this, he will begin to test you. Not out of malice, but as a response to the change he senses within you. He'll test to see if this transformation is real or just a passing phase. He'll want to see if you truly mean the words you speak, if you'll back down when he challenges you, or if you'll hold your ground. These tests may come in many forms. Sometimes they'll be subtle, disguised as casual indifference. He may act like nothing has changed, as if your new behavior doesn't affect him, but inside he's observing closely, trying to gauge if you revert to your old ways. Other times he might provoke a reaction, doing things that he knows once triggered you, hoping to see if you'll react the way you used to. He wants to see if you're truly different, or if this new version of you is just a temporary change. But here's the truth. When you stop staying silent, when you stop tolerating things that don't serve you, you've already won. His tests are a direct reflection of the power you've gained. They are his way of figuring out whether this new woman, this woman who speaks her truth and stands firm, will be here to stay. And while he might push your buttons or challenge you, know this: he isn't doing it because he doesn't respect you. He's doing it because he's never seen this side of you before, and he's trying to understand it. He's trying to gauge whether the changes you've made are truly permanent. When you make a change this significant, when you step into your power and begin to demand respect, it naturally causes a shift in the relationship dynamic. He will no longer have the same level of control over you, and that can be a difficult thing for some to accept. Some will rise to meet you at this new level, seeing your strength and respecting it. Others may try to hold on to the old dynamics, hoping you'll return to the version of yourself that was easier for them to manipulate or take for granted. But this is not your problem. The tests he puts you through aren't for you to answer, they're for him to process. He's trying to figure out whether he can keep you in the same box he once placed you in, or whether you're truly someone who cannot be controlled, who cannot be swayed by his actions. His tests are not meant to push you back. They are meant to challenge him, to see if he can meet you where you now stand. If he cannot rise to meet the woman you've become, then that's a reflection of him, not you. If he tries to break you, to get you to retreat into your silence, it only shows that he's not ready for the power you now possess. It's not your job to convince him of your worth. It's not your job to show him that you won't back down. The only thing you need to focus on is being true to yourself, expressing your truth, and holding firm in your beliefs. When you do this, you send a clear message. You are not afraid to stand up for yourself, to speak your mind, and to refuse to accept anything less than what you deserve. His tests are simply the result of the changes he sees within you. They are his attempt to measure whether the new woman you've become will withstand the pressures he places upon you. And your response, or lack of response, will tell him everything he needs to know. If you stand firm, if you continue to speak your truth without hesitation, you will show him that you've crossed a threshold and there's no going back. So, embrace these tests. Don't shy away from them. They are not signs of weakness, they are affirmations of your strength. Each time he tries to push you, each time he tests you, remember that this is not about proving anything to him. It's about showing yourself that you are unshakable, that no matter what he throws your way, you will remain true to who you are. When you begin to speak your truth, when you finally decide that you will no longer stay silent in the face of discomfort or disrespect, something profound happens within you. It's as if a shift takes place in your soul, and the world around you suddenly feels different. The moment you begin to express your feelings, your thoughts, and your boundaries with clarity, you are no longer just participating in life. You are actively shaping it. This is the moment when you must decide, will you stand firm in this newfound power, or will you allow doubts to creep back in? Standing firm in your truth is not about fighting or proving anything to anyone. It's not about shouting or demanding attention. It's about finding that quiet, unshakable place inside yourself where you know exactly who you are and what you deserve. It's about the strength to say no when you need to speak up when something doesn't feel right, and to be unapologetically yourself no matter how others react. This is your moment to claim your space, and it will test every ounce of your belief in your worth. When you first begin to stand in your truth, the reactions from others may not always be what you expect. Some people will praise your confidence, acknowledging the change they see in you, but others may push back. They may try to undermine your new strength by calling you stubborn, difficult, or emotional. But these words are not a reflection of you. They are simply the response of others who are unaccustomed to seeing you in your full power. They are testing whether you will retreat back to the version of yourself that was more pliable, more willing to stay silent to keep the peace. These tests are not signs of failure, they are signs that you are on the right path. The people around you, especially those who have become accustomed to your silence or willingness to compromise, may try to draw you back into old patterns. They want to see if you'll cave, if you'll shrink, if you'll go back to being the person who accepted less than she deserved. But standing firm in your truth means saying no to this regression. It means refusing to return to a place where you silenced yourself for the comfort of others. Standing firm in your truth is not easy. It requires immense courage because at some point you will feel vulnerable. You may feel the sting of rejection, the discomfort of someone pulling away because they can no longer control you or manipulate the situation. But this vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength. It's the strength to stand on your own 2 feet, to trust yourself enough to know that you are worthy of respect and honesty. You are worthy of someone who sees you, hears you, and values you for who you truly are. And this truth will attract the people who are meant to be in your life, the ones who will love and appreciate the real you, not the version of you that you had to hide behind to keep the peace. When you stand firm in your truth, you begin to create new boundaries. Boundaries that are not walls to keep people out, but clear markers that show how you wish to be treated. And when you set these boundaries, some may test them. They'll push against them, see if you will back down, or try to make you feel guilty for having them in the first place. But standing firm in your truth means holding your boundaries without hesitation. It means understanding that these boundaries are not negotiable because they are rooted in your self-respect. They are a reflection of how you choose to show up in the world and what you are willing to tolerate. When we step into a new phase of self-awareness, everything we once thought we knew can feel like it's unraveling. It's as if the world suddenly shifts beneath our feet, and we begin to see things from an entirely new perspective. What we once viewed as conflicts or confrontations are now revealed for what they truly are: opportunities for growth and transformation. This isn't about standing up against someone or something, nor is it about winning a battle. It's about understanding that these moments are revelations, guiding us toward a deeper, more profound understanding of who we are and who we are becoming. A confrontation implies an adversarial stance. It conjures images of conflict, anger, and an attempt to overpower another person. It suggests that we are battling against something outside ourselves, something that is trying to oppose us. But what if we took a step back and considered that the situations we find ourselves in, especially those that feel challenging, are actually revelations waiting to be understood? What if these situations are not tests we need to pass, but rather awakenings we must embrace? When we approach challenges from the perspective of revelation, everything changes. We no longer see ourselves as victims of circumstances or as people constantly under attack. Instead, we begin to understand that these challenges are showing us parts of ourselves we may have previously ignored. They are invitations to evolve, to stretch beyond our current limitations, and to see ourselves as more powerful than we ever realized. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to unearth a new layer of our truth. Consider moments when you've been faced with a difficult conversation, an unexpected setback, or a conflict with someone close to you. In the past, you may have reacted with frustration or tried to defend yourself. You may have believed that these situations were personal attacks or signs that something was wrong. But when you shift your perspective and view them as revelations, everything changes. You can't control the situation. These moments are not here to hurt you. They are here to help you evolve. They are a mirror reflecting what you still need to learn, what you still need to heal, and what you still need to release. This shift from confrontation to revelation requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing beyond the surface and recognizing that every experience has a lesson. The person you feel is challenging you is often a reflection of something within you that needs to be addressed. Perhaps they are mirroring your fears, your insecurities, or your unresolved pain. Rather than feeling defensive, you can embrace these interactions as opportunities to look inward. What are they teaching you about yourself? What patterns are being highlighted that need to be examined and released? When we view challenges as revelations, we also free ourselves from the need to control everything. We stop trying to manipulate situations or people to fit our desired outcomes. Instead, we open ourselves to the possibility that the universe or life itself is guiding us toward the perfect lesson at the perfect time. We let go of the need to control and simply allow ourselves to flow with the experience, trusting that it is exactly what we need for our growth. Another powerful shift that occurs when we embrace revelation over confrontation is the way we relate to other people. Instead of seeing others as obstacles or adversaries, we begin to view them as teachers, whether they are aware of it or not. Every person we encounter has something to offer us, whether it's a lesson in patience, forgiveness, or self-respect. When we view our relationships in this light, we no longer feel the need to argue or prove ourselves. Instead, we simply listen, observe, and learn. This is not a passive approach. It's an active choice to grow, to evolve, and to align with the highest version of ourselves. In moments of struggle or discomfort, it's important to remember that growth never comes from staying in our comfort zone. True transformation happens when we step outside of familiar territory and face the unknown with open arms. The challenges that arise are not obstacles. They are the fertile ground for the seeds of change. By reframing these experiences as revelations rather than confrontations, we take the power back. We stop seeing ourselves as at the mercy of life's circumstances and begin to realize that we are the ones creating our reality through the choices we make in how we respond to those circumstances. This mindset doesn't mean that we will always have easy answers or that the road will be smooth. It means, however, that we can move through the difficulties of life with grace, patience, and a deep understanding that we are always growing, always evolving, and always becoming the person we are meant to be. When we embrace revelation, we trust that every challenge is part of the greater plan and that the universe has our back, even when it doesn't seem like it. By releasing the need for confrontation and embracing revelation, we empower ourselves to show up in life with clarity and confidence. We begin to see the beauty in every struggle, the lesson in every relationship, and the wisdom in every experience. We stop fighting against life and start flowing with it. And in doing so, we open ourselves to a life of peace, purpose, and fulfillment, where every moment is an opportunity to learn, grow, and evolve. In life, we often find ourselves standing at the crossroads of uncertainty, faced with challenges that seem insurmountable. The fear of the unknown can paralyze us, making us hesitate and question whether we are truly capable of overcoming the hurdles that lie ahead. But what if we stopped fearing the test and instead embraced it? What if we viewed each challenge, no matter how daunting, as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to our well-being? This shift in perspective could change everything. Tests are a natural part of life. Whether it's in relationships, personal goals, career, or self-development, we all face moments where we are pushed to our limits. These moments may come in the form of difficult decisions, uncomfortable conversations, or the unexpected twists and turns that life seems to throw at us. However, the key to navigating these challenges lies not in avoiding them or wishing them away, but in embracing them with an open heart and mind. The fear that accompanies these tests often stems from our desire to avoid failure. We are conditioned to think that failure is something to be ashamed of, something that marks us as incapable or unworthy. Yet the truth is that failure is not the end. It is a stepping stone on the path to success. Each failure brings with it valuable lessons, experiences that shape us and make us stronger. If we fear the test, we miss out on these opportunities for growth. But when we embrace the test, we give ourselves the chance to rise, to learn, and to evolve. Imagine facing a difficult situation and choosing to meet it with courage rather than fear. Instead of shrinking back or feeling overwhelmed, you stand tall and accept the challenge. You recognize that while the road may be difficult, it is through this very struggle that you will find your true strength. Every test is a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Every obstacle is an opportunity to learn new skills, develop resilience, and build confidence. The more you embrace these moments, the more you cultivate a mindset that thrives under pressure, knowing that nothing can break you unless you allow it to. What many fail to realize is that tests are not just random occurrences. They are part of the design of life, meant to push us toward our highest potential. Without these moments of challenge, we would remain stagnant, never evolving or growing into the person we are meant to be. Think about the times in your life when you overcame something difficult, whether it was a personal struggle, a challenge at work, or a hardship in a relationship. Those experiences shaped who you are today. You experienced weightlessness, they were tests that you faced, and by embracing them, you became stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When you embrace the test, you are not only taking responsibility for your own growth, but also setting an example for others. People around you notice how you handle adversity. Your courage and determination can inspire those who may be struggling with their own challenges. By showing others that it is possible to face difficulties with grace and strength, you create a ripple effect that spreads positivity and empowerment. In this way, embracing the test becomes not only a personal victory, but also a way to uplift and empower others. The journey of embracing tests requires a deep level of trust. Trust in yourself, in the process, and in the greater plan of your life. It's easy to doubt ourselves when we are faced with uncertainty. We may question our abilities, our worth, or our readiness to handle the challenge. But deep down, we know that we have everything we need to succeed. The strength, the wisdom, and the resilience lie within us, waiting to be tapped into. When we choose to trust in ourselves and the journey, we begin to see tests not as obstacles but as opportunities to step into our full potential. There will always be moments of doubt and fear along the way. It is natural to feel overwhelmed at times, to question whether we are capable of handling what is in front of us. But it is precisely in these moments that we must remember that we are more than capable. Every challenge we face is a reflection of the strength and courage that already reside within us. It's up to us to tap into that power and use it to navigate through life's tests with confidence. The key to embracing the test lies in reframing it. Instead of viewing it as something that will break you, see it as something that will make you. Instead of fearing failure, see it as an essential part of the journey to success. Remember, no one who has achieved greatness has done so without facing adversity. The greatest leaders, innovators, and change makers have all gone through their own tests. And it is through those experiences that they have grown into the individuals they are today. When you stop fearing the test and begin to embrace it, you open yourself up to a world of possibility. You create space for growth, for new opportunities, and for the realization of your true potential. You no longer allow fear to control you, but instead you take control of your own destiny. Embracing the test is not just about surviving the challenges, it's about thriving because of them. It's about becoming the best,